Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey everybody, hashtag Wellness Wednesday.
Wellness Wednesday, and we are coming to you because we've been hearing a lot of people asking us specifically about ketogenic diet, low carb living, and what our take is on it. We're not here to bash, we're not here to tell anybody what to do. You guys are grown adults, you can do whatever really you want to do. But we just wanted to give you some facts, we wanted to give you some insight as to what we believe about this specific lifestyle itself. So first of all, if you like carbs, I know I like carbs. I want you to put your favorite carb emoji in the comments below. Mine would probably be that sweet potato. I know yours probably would be as well too. So let's talk about it a little bit, because obviously this is a popular topic and this is obviously a controversial topic that many individuals battle with. Should I do keto? Should I not do keto? What's going to help me lose weight? And ultimately, the main question that we always ask our people, do you plan on cutting out carbs for the rest of your life? Keto can be a good thing. If you're using keto specifically for an event, maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's like you have a weigh-in or something like that, if you're on Biggest Loser or something, then yes, keto is going to be your go-to when it comes to diets. But Adiana, tell us a little bit, why do we need carbohydrates?
Well, carbohydrates are basically made up of fibers, starches, and sugars. And like Nick said, they are the body's preferred fuel source. And they've got some pretty big functions. Number one, they are going to be a part of our energy production, converting those carbohydrates into glucose, right, which is blood sugar, into the bloodstream, and then whatever is not utilized for energy to fuel the muscles and tissues is going to be stored, right? So stored energy, glycogen, which he had mentioned. We do have a limit, 2,000 calories or so can be stored as stored energy, known as glycogen, but can be converted back to glucose to be utilized. So those are the first two, energy production and energy storage. The other main function is aiding in digestion, right? Providing that fiber that is going to allow our bodies to digest our foods. And imagine them as like a garbage bag, removing waste out of the body. Fourthly is protein sparing. When we have a sufficient amount of carbohydrates, protein can actually do its job, right? And it's got quite a bit of functions on its own. It's got hormone production, it's working on building and repairing muscle tissue and immune function. So we want to make sure that our bodies are properly supported with carbohydrates so that protein can take care of the action and we don't lose that precious muscle along the way.
So there's been several studies when it comes to the science, when it comes to exercise and restricted carbohydrates mixed with restricted calories, because obviously your body is a magnificent
machine.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah. You have to still make sure that the calories in, calories out matches. So mixed with carbohydrates, low carbohydrates with lower calories, you're going to start to get different things that start to happen. Some of these things that have been already shown in scientific studies is decreased thyroid output, increased cortisol, decreased testosterone, which nobody wants that, impaired mood and cognitive function, muscle catabolism, which I have done myself after 2 years of pretty much doing ketogenic diet. I lost all my muscle and I was working out very, very hard. And you'll see sometimes with people that are hardcore keto, I'm not honestly, by all means, I'm not saying that keto is, you should get off of it right now. If you love it, if it's giving you energy, if it's fueling you, then great. But for most people, you start to lose that tonality. You start to lose that muscle definition. And the thing is, because you're not able to build, you're not even able to preserve. There was a study that was done. There was actually 11 studies that were done last year alone on professional athletes and low carb diets. And what they found with these athletes is that after a 4-month period of time of being on a low carb diet, 8 of these studies showed that these athletes weren't even able to preserve muscle, let alone build muscle. They weren't even able to preserve muscle. And only 3 of them were able to actually just preserve. This is not even talking about whether they gained it or not. And I know some of you are going to be on here right now saying, hey, Nick, I've been doing keto for 3 years, 3 months. I've lost X amount of pounds. I feel absolutely fantastic and my energy's through the roof. And by all means, we're happy for you. We are not telling you to sway it any other way. By all means, if that's working for you, great. But there's 2 typical reasons why this typically happens for most people. Number 1 is like what I was talking about before. Genetics play a huge part as to how somebody can adapt and how somebody can actually continue to build lean muscle regardless of what their body's taking in. But number 2, I hate to say this, but many times when people start keto, they are desperate for a solution. They're looking for weight loss and they're already in this prone position where they don't feel good, they don't look good. And when they get on keto, they start losing weight. They start getting compliments on their figure. They have more energy because they're sticking to something and they're losing the weight, so they're not carrying so much weight around. So they have this thought in their mind that, oh my gosh, it's keto, it's low carbs, that's what's making me feel this way. When most of the time for the average person, it's not necessarily those things. It's really just you've come from a much more severe state of wanting to lose weight, wanting more energy. And so anything that you would have done at that point probably would have worked. I was huge into keto. For 2 years, I didn't have a single potato. I didn't have a single piece of fruit. I had only green vegetables. I literally, if you saw pictures of me before, you can go into my profile, you can see before and after pictures as to how I look now is drastically different than what I looked like 3 years ago. And it is because I started implementing not just carbohydrates, but the right kind of carbohydrates. I personally had an issue with food. And honestly, there's a lot of people that are like me, I hope, that feel like they can't control their cravings. They can't control their intake. They can't control what they eat. And so personally for me, I had to fix that first, my mentality of how I was viewing food so that I could actually fuel my body the way that it was properly supposed to be fueled in the first place. If you are looking for a solution, if you're desperate for something when it comes to meal planning, meal prepping, looking to take your health and your fitness, your energy to a whole new level and the way that you perform inside and outside of the gym, get a hold of us. We have found the solution and the holy grail that has helped myself really get the results that I've truly desired in my entire life. And we're more energized, guys. We just love being able to share this with more people. We love helping them create assets from this as well too, helping other people with their health and wellness, and at the same time, getting some extra bills paid for. Who doesn't want that? So we love you guys.
Yep.
Have a great night.
Thank
God
you.
bless. We'll see you next time.
Rest well.